33.
And are you single?
Nah, married.
How long have you been married?
Since 2017.
So being married 8 years, how do you keep a relationship together that long?
Pay 100% of everything.
So it's a man's job to be a provider.
100%. You ain't a man if you're not a provider.
What gave you that mentality?
Man, I've been had it since I was young. I mean, shoot, if you look at the granddaddies and everything, they was taking care of the bills, and guess what? They was with grandma for the longest. These dudes be in relationships in and out because they not paying 100% of everything. That's the reason why they in washing machine ass relationships.
2 hours later.
Have you ever proposed to a woman before?
Yes, I did.
And how did that turn out for you?
Newly divorced.
But how long was your marriage?
8 years.
What do you think caused your 8-year marriage to deteriorate?
You know, it's one of those crazy things, man. People can wake up and say, I don't want to do this. No matter what's built, no matter what legacies are in place, you know, it's one of those situations where you can't control people, right? I can't control you. I can't make you do something you don't want to do. So, you know what I mean?
But did you provide in your relationship?
First month, quit your job. I'm here, I'm taking care of this. So I ain't had to see a bill in 8 years, you know?
So even though you provided 100%,
right,
the marriage still failed.
Yeah, man. Married people want to be single. Single people want to be married. Rich people want to be poor. Poor people want to be, you know, rich. Rappers want to be athletes. Athletes want to be rap. You know, it's the other side look appealing. You know what I'm saying? And to people who married for a long time, you start hanging out with your single friends, you might miss that lifestyle. A lot of women don't want to be kept put up for real.
So was it you or your wife that filed for divorce?
On her side.
That's what that bitch ass nigga gets. That's where I'll start with that one. That's what that bitch ass nigga gets. Like,
why he's so mad about it, really?
He's not just a bitch ass nigga, he's also stupid.
No, like so this is personal, but I'll just say this. It's 2 things I hate more than a whore and a thief, and that's a scammer, right? And you guys know why I hate whores. It's obvious why I hate thieves. That scamming ass nigga, I'm so glad that his wife left him, and I hope she left him for a fat white man that's poor, because everything bad in life that can happen to him, I hope happens to him. Everything. Short of going to the pen or dying. Every other L he can take, I hope he gets them on his birthday. I hope every day that's special to him, it just gets ruined. Like, I wish all the ill in the world, short of death in the federal penitentiary, on that man and his mother. Like, I hate him.
Damn, he got you for like 25 bands or something?
No, he didn't get me for 25, but he got 2 of my partners for 25. And listen, he's one of the biggest scammers out there. Him, Bonifacio, Gunty, all of them people, the Atlanta Circle CEOs, all Aristotle cool. So I mean, that before y'all try to throw him in there, but him 500, all of them other people, all them scammers from ERL, he was in that ecosystem, and I hope they all get shot in the ass but survive with a limp.
We don't know violence over here.
With a paintball, my bad.
So
I hope he missed the exit on the turnpike.
No. Missing exit on the turnpike. I hope he misses it every time and get stuck in like a forever loop, because he got to go 5 miles this way to get back every time. I
missed the exit on the turnpike.
Was that a skit?
I tried to.
Yeah, I think that might have been a skit, Will.
I don't know, because the
interviewee,
the interviewer,
because oh boy, he hadn't been doing this thing for that long. Because the first one came out before the second one came out. So he hasn't been doing this thing that long. I don't think it's been 8 years.
Did the interviewer realize that was the same cat?
No, he did it on purpose. That interviewer, right? He interviews everybody multiple times, right? And he said that one of his things, he likes to see progression with people. Like, he's interviewed Mr. Organic like 5-6 times. He's interviewed the Fresh and Fit folks, spent a bunch of time. Like, he's in that realm. So every time he catches one of them, he does an interview because he can pull off their crowd plus what he got going, and he gets the views.
I didn't know it was personal. What you got on the trail? You say something?
No, I said that's what he get, man. He's been doing that crazy. I mean, I'm not super familiar with Homeboy, but I have seen him doing some crazy pandering such as that. and I didn't appreciate it because he's giving out the wrong message. There are, like, I understand that you definitely want to take care and provide because I do that, but at some point you have to mention that this isn't for everyone, right? People try to make it just because you're able to provide 100% for your woman. That's awesome, and I commend you for that. That's great that you were able to afford her that opportunity to not work, but we can't make it seem like that's supposed to be the norm, right? The average people, it kind of like really pushes my buttons when people just minimize your everyday person, the people who are most important to the world. These Delta people that keep the world going, they're not always going to be able to do that. And some wives will be very happy to help. And I don't like when people put those type of messages out so irresponsibly. Like you are fortunate. You're a good scammer, according to Willie. So that's great for you, right? We love that for you. But that doesn't mean that we can all be good scammers or just be wealthy for whatever reason. We're not always going to, most of us will never be wealthy. And we're not going to be able to take care of 100% of the bills. But I'll tell you this, if any man that's in that position to do that, he will do so. But we don't minimize and degrade men because they can't. That's trash. And at some point, you have to understand that when you have these expectations for men, you should have some high expectations for women as well.
Hey, JR, I just sent you receipts for what I was talking about too, so let's understand. I'm always gonna come with those.
Trev, do you think the vast majority of men should strive to do that?
Yes, but it's not realistic for everyone. It's never been that way. It's never been that way, ever. It's never been that way. And since the beginning of time, most of us have been average, and it's always going to be that way. It is what it is. It's good to strive for it, right? And you should always tell your kids to strive for the best. But if you can't, it is what it is. You do your best, whatever that best is. We can't all be the greatest. We can't.
I know for me, I'm one of them guys. I take pride in paying all the bills. Like it makes me feel good, right? But like guys like that is like major lames, major dweebs. Like my girl has to do things like being in a relationship with me is not easy. It's a lot of women who couldn't do it because you can't deal with me telling you like, yo, I own you. Like you can't. A lot of women can't deal with that because what you talking about? You like you can't deal with that. You can't They don't want to concede or give up some of their autonomy to be with a man like me. So even though it's like I'm one of I treat my girl extremely well. However, like a lot of women men like that don't speak on the other side. They only speak on listen, pay the bill. Like the first thing he said I just pay all the bills. So, I got a happy home. Like you sound stupid. That's stupid. Like spending money on a woman is not going to get her. It's not going to get her to, to be who she need to be for you. So yeah, he's just retarded. And I be seeing his other videos like, yo, send your girl some money right now, cash app her $500, like all the corny shit.
Yeah, I've seen that, and that's part of it. And not to say that's not part of it, right? If you can do that, then go ahead and do that. But it takes a lot more than that, like you said. That's utility, and that's great. But it's gonna take a lot more than that to maintain a woman. And I guess he found that shit out the hard way.
Or he's scamming, right? So if we look at it from the position of that he had this money, he had this woman, and then he tries to big up the fact that he has money to keep this woman, but then later he loses the woman because of the money. Both of those situations require people will click on, right? So it's another part of the scam. So, and it's also a negative towards the marriage, and so in both situations, he's doing a negative in the column of being pro marriage, because those that have good marriages understand that there's a teamwork that goes involved in making this thing work. Whether you are the guy that makes all the money and pays the bills, or you're the guy that's helping with the bills, right? And I think that you should aspire to be the guy that pays all the bills, but that's not all that a woman needs is for you to do that. Because if that was the case, then NBA and professional athletes wouldn't have their wives leaving them when their retirement is over, right? Because it's more than about the money, right? That makes them want to stay. So I think that this particular individual, anybody that thinks like this, obviously is a scammer, and I understand Willie's particular point of view, minus the violence.
What if it's more to some of those situations where women are leaving men, like athletes and stuff like that? What if part of it is them choosing, like was they choosing BBL baddies and then not being and just playing basketball? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with the situations, but I'm curious. Like, was y'all choosing, these Jada Waiters and these Aries and these them type of girls who, don't really got much up there?
I mean, if you lead with what you lead with is what you're gonna have to continue to maintain. So if you're leading with your money, then that's her expectation. And so the guys in the pros, when I'm listening to what they talk about when they come back home and they're retired, a lot of them end up in a divorce. So that says to me that all they had was the money, or all the woman wanted was their money. Right.
Not just that, but also maybe y'all have never actually had a real relationship. Like maybe y'all, like I know when me and my woman moved in together, we had to hash out a lot of things that came out in our
Oh, yeah.
relationship from actually being together for a long period of time. And like, yo, we in the house every day together. Like we had to kind of like go to therapy a little bit and really, get some things in order. So like, I'm curious, like, is when he retired and y'all actually in the house together, it's like, oh hell no, we ain't compatible.
Yes, that's what just one that I know when I listened to Lou Williams when he talked about it. He's the one that sparked my interest in kind of understanding what was going on. He says that typically what happens when they come back home, it's like, oh, this is what you do on Mondays? Like this is not what it is that I was thinking that you would be doing. So and then she vice versa doesn't like it. I mean, y'all remember the situation with Damon Lillard, right? His wife ended up cheating on him. While he was out and away. So all I'm saying is that money is not going to be the reason why she stays.
Absolutely.
I think that a guy, there's no bigger flex that a man can have than removing his woman from the workforce. I think that's something that, every watch, car, house, designer bag you can buy her, but taking her out of the workforce and putting her in a position where she's financially self-sufficient, not on you, but financially self-sufficient while still being yours. I don't think there's a bigger flex that a man can have as a provider. That's the ultimate level of provision in my eyes. So when Trev asked, do I think that all men should do that? No, because they're not capable of it. But I do believe that all men that have the capacity to do so should do it. Because again, there's nothing that you can do for your woman that will provide her more security, safety, peace of mind, stillness, and consistency than removing her from the workforce and putting her in a position where she's earning for herself, where she's not worried about, having to, where the money's coming from, or does she have to keep up with you? Like putting a woman in a position to where she doesn't need you financially, even though she's still subject to your financial covering, will say a lot about you, and then in turn for that man, reveal a lot about that woman. So that's one of the goals that I have in any relationship that I've been in, was to remove that person from the workforce. Like Buddy said,
Person?
Huh?
Person?
No, the buddy, like what Buddy said. Like he said his wife didn't know what a bill was for 8 years. Like that's how I operate my relationships. Now in my current situation and like where I am in life, that's the only potential outcome. There's no way that I would have my woman asking another nigga to do anything. Like go to work, go to her kid's shit, take time off, be sick, have to go to the bathroom. Like my woman asking another man for permission to do shit when I haven't for the past 10 years, it just doesn't sit well with me. So in my situation, what I would do is I would just say, hey, I'm starting a box trucking company. I found a little play. Trucks make $1,000 a day. I get 10 trucks, so you know what that is. Put her in charge. Let her manage that. Whatever her salary is at work, that's what you pay her and then some. Because you always want to hire her up. So if she's making 100, pay her $125, $150. Either way, though, like I think every man with the capacity should do that.
Yeah, I agree with you because I was talking about the situation with the CEO being caught with the secretary or whatever at the game. And then I was just like, man, if a man has the capability to pay your woman and give her employment, there's always a capability to me that she might cheat on you with that man. You know what I'm saying? Because that man's the boss. He has the gold. He has the resources. Why will she not, like in my Dame Dash voice, why will she not want to fuck the boss? All women want to fuck the boss.
Yeah, I think all men should strive to. I think all men should strive to make as much money as they can. Or at minimum, just like to get comfortable. I know I don't buy it when guys give me excuses and stuff like that. I don't have a tolerance for that at all. I'm never going to concede that. Oh no, I can't do it. I'm never going to concede to that. You can do better, and I do think most men should strive for that. But also, I am completely comfortable with the men who are happy where they are. Like I think that's fine. Like I like people who just like, yo, this is the life that I love. This is what I enjoy. The simple things. Then cool, perfect. I'm with that too. But I do think that the men who complain, yeah, strive for more. Like the men who like you can do better. So
Can I add to that real quick? I the more money thing, I don't think that's the way to teach it. I think that we should be teaching them financial literacy, right? Because if you're able to, there are men that make $50,000 to $60,000, and because they manage their money well, they're able to do a lot more than the person that makes $200,000 a year because he doesn't manage his money well. So I understand the sentiment to make a lot of money, but most people spend what it is that they make. So I would say teach them how to be financial literate, and then as a result, they will believe and see that they can make more money in what it looks like.
I agree. I think both are important. However, I do think it's the easy thing is the financial literacy. The hard thing is the making more money. So I think that you can teach anybody financial literacy, but as far as like making 200,000, making 300,000, like let's work on that, and we can teach you to. It's like eating right. It's like stop putting food in your mouth, you'll lose weight, right? It's like a simple concept of financial literacy. It's like stop spending money. Don't give anybody your social security number. Don't do any credit apps. Stop spending your money. It's relatively simple.
Stop putting food in your mouth as a way to save money too.
That too.
Just y'all seen what DoorDash charge?
Man.